Um, so today we're going to be doing math and English, and we're going to start off with how to be writing a paragraph, an essay, and how to identify each paragraph of an essay. And we're going to go over a technique called paragraph hamburger. So let's get started. So, have you ever made a burger? What do you put in it? So, usually a burger, we all know, is a patty on top, some meat in the middle, any sauce that you like, or cheese, your patty, your lettuce, and then your bottom bun. So in a burger, there's so many different layers, right? So, did you know key elements in a paragraph can be compared to a hamburger? So, today we will learn how to determine key ideas in a text, explain how ideas can be supported by details, and use word strategies to work out the meaning of unfamiliar words. So first, let's go over finding key ideas and details. So how do I find the key idea in a passage? To find the key idea, you just find the first sentence in each paragraph. This is called the top bun. So your first sentence is your key idea. What your entire paragraph is about in one sentence, that's what you say. Just an introduction, a short introduction. And sorry about that. Sorry. So, like I said, in a burger, the first on top is a bun. And in the same way, when you're writing a paragraph, the first sentence in each paragraph is the top bun. Now, how do I find the supporting evidence? Well, you find the rest of the sentences in each paragraph. These layers are in the burger. Okay? So your evidences is all the good stuff in the burger. So your patty, your cheese, your vegetables, that's your supporting ideas. So each sentence is a supporting idea. To support your main idea, your key idea that you just wrote in your first sentence, your supporting evidences should back up what you're saying in your key idea. And so what is the bottom bun? Well, the bottom bun is the conclusion sentence in each paragraph. It may function as further supporting evidence, or it may sum up the ideas in the paragraph. So, in the last sentence, the very last thing you do is summarize your entire thing that you wrote into just like a 1 or 2 sentences. And that's your bottom burger bun. So, finding key ideas and details again, further. Again, the top bun is the first sentence in each paragraph, which is also called a topic sentence or a key idea. This gives the reader a clue on what the paragraph is about. So your topic sentence is to grab the reader's attention, make sure it's catchy, make sure it's relevant, make sure it's on point, and make sure it makes the reader want to read the rest of your paragraph. So next, the layers in the burger are the rest of the sentences in each paragraph. They are pieces of evidence that reinforce the topic sentence. There are usually 2 to 3 supporting details in a paragraph. So like I said, in your paragraph, you need to have evidences. And usually a lot of people it depends on what you're writing, but a lot of people usually at least do 3 supporting evidences, 3 supporting details onto why, supporting your key ideas. So then the bottom bun, lastly, is a conclusion sentence. like I said, it's just to summarize your entire thing. Keep it short. Make sure it's summarized. And just in your conclusion sentence, you can also include what you want the reader to know once they read your paragraph. Why you wrote it, or like what you want and what way you wrote it. Okay? So now let's rearrange this. So what do we start with first? Oh, sorry. Let's do it. Let's rearrange it. So what's first? Well, what's first in a burger? Your top bun, right? So first, let's read this. Summer is my ideal season because there are so many things to enjoy during this sunny time of the year. This is your topic sentence. It's what your paragraph is about, and it's just one sentence. Okay? And this one topic sentence, I want to read more about the rest of the paragraph. I want to know why summer is his favorite season. So this one topic sentence just gives me a hint about the rest of the paragraph. So now I know that the rest of the paragraph is why he thinks summer is his favorite season. Okay, so this is my topic sentence. So this is going to go right on top. Actually, we're just going to name it. Just going to label it 1. Okay, what's next? Well, we have our supporting evidences, right, that are next. In our burger, we have our key idea, and now we have supporting evidence number 1. So let's check. Well, there's 3 supporting evidences, but how do I know which one comes first? Well, let's look at the first word. This one says also. And what does also mean? Also means and, right? I also like this. So I like this too, right? But how am I supposed to do, why would I say also without even saying my first statement first? So this one wouldn't work because also adds on to a previous thought. So you can't put also first. Okay, so this is not your first evidence, supporting evidence. Okay, so let's check another one. Summer brings a lot of fun and joy into my life. This one doesn't sound like a supporting evidence to me because it doesn't explain or it doesn't give evidence to why he thinks summer is important to him. Yes, it does say it brings a lot of fun and joy into his life, but it's not specific. It's very vague, and it doesn't really build off on anything else that he's saying. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, well, this one says, first, I love going to the local club to play sports with my friends. It is always fun to hang out with them and chat for hours while we play together. So this one is, This one is a supporting paragraph, a supporting evidence, right? Because it's supporting why he thinks that way. This is a specific reason why he likes summer, what he does in the summer, and what makes him like it, right? And the key for this one, to know if it's what number or what order it should go in, is the first word. The first word says first, right? And what does that mean? Obviously, number 1. So this is going to be your second paragraph, your second sentence, and your first supporting evidence. So we're going to put number 2. Okay, this is supporting evidence number 1. Now let's look at this one. This says, finally, I look forward to summer camps. They are packed with exciting activities like hiking, making crafts, and even roasting marshmallows around a campfire. Again, this also looks like a supportive evidence to me because it's a specific reason why he likes summer. So the specific reason here is that he likes summer camps. He likes to look forward to summer camps. He does fun stuff like hiking, And so this is too specific to be an intro or a conclusion. So it is going to be a supporting evidence. But another hint here in the order it comes in is the first word again. It says finally. What does finally mean? Finally means at the end or last, right? So this is not your second supporting sentence, but this one is. Or the first one that we read, also, I enjoy having picnics in the park. We spread out a blanket and feast on delicious sandwiches. This is your second supporting evidence because you know that the first word says also, so it builds off on the first supporting evidence, and it's another specific reason why he likes summer. So first, he said he likes to play in a local club, and now he's saying he likes to have picnics in the park. So this is your second supporting evidence. So this is number 3 in your burger. Next, we have our last supporting sentence, okay? And it's obviously going to be this one because it has finally, and it's another specific reason why he likes summer. So he says, finally, I look forward to summer camps. They are packed with fun activities like hiking, making crafts, and even roasting marshmallows around a campfire. This is going to be your last supporting evidence because it's another specific example, going to summer camps, and it has the transition word finally, which shows it's the last thing. Your last supporting evidence. So this is number 4. So we have our topic sentence, our 3 supporting evidences, but now what's left? Our conclusion sentence. And here our conclusion sentence is simple, it's fast, it's a really short sentence, but it sums up everything that he said. Summer brings a lot of joy and fun into my life. So that summarizes everything that he said about summer. And it's easy, simple, and just tells the reader everything that he said in a simple sentence. Okay? So this is our last one. This is number 5. Conclusion sentence. Okay, now let's look at the answer and see if we were right. Let's read it all together now to make sure it makes sense, okay? Summer is my ideal season because there are so many things to enjoy during the sunny time of the year. First, that's our topic. The thing that I just read is our topic sentence. And now, first, I love going to the local club to play sports with my friends. It is always fun to hang out with them and chat for hours while we play together. This is supporting evidence number 1. Also, I enjoy having picnics in the park. We spread out a blanket and feast on delicious sandwiches, fruits, and refreshing lemonade. This is supporting evidence number 2. Finally, I look forward to summer camps. They are packed with exciting activities like hiking, making crafts, and even roasting marshmallows around a campfire. This is supporting evidence number 3. Finally, summer brings a lot of fun and joy into my life. This is our conclusion sentence. And here, check out the underlined connective words. These words are used to connect one paragraph to another. So that's what we were talking about earlier, right? The first, also, finally, they connect each supporting evidence. So it doesn't sound break or cracked in the middle. This smoothly transitions to each different paragraph, okay? So these words are called connective words because they connect each paragraph. And they're usually the first words in your supporting evidences. Okay. Let's read this real quick. So when we read this passage, so let's read it together really quickly. Loggerhead turtles are fascinating reptiles found around the world. They are the biggest among turtles with hard shells, with adult males weighing about 250 pounds. As their name suggests, they have wide heads and strong jaws to crunch shellfish and enjoy a variety of seafood quickly. These massive turtles have a flair for traveling too. They inhabit the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and even the Mediterranean Sea. Sandy beaches are their go-to locations for nest building. They build 3 to 5 nests per season with around 100 to 120 turtle eggs laid in each of them. After about 2 months, 2-inch-long hatchlings break out and go to the ocean by following the moon and the stars' reflections. But life is not always about swimming to sandy beaches for these turtles. They can eat plastic bags they have mistaken for jellyfish, but can also get caught in fishing lines and nets. These are all harmful encounters for them. Hence, loggerhead turtles are considered vulnerable species. People from all over the world are doing their best to protect these incredible turtles. Groups and individuals keep predators away from turtle nesting areas, conduct coastal cleanups, and work with fishermen to ensure all turtles are safe from fishing nets, use special devices, and other conservation efforts. Only about 40,000 to 50,000 female loggerhead turtles are left to keep the species alive. Their journey across oceans will live on for centuries to come. If we do our part to learn more about them and joining efforts to keep our seas clean and safe for all creatures. So, this passage was pretty long, right? And what was it about? Let's just do a quick summary. It's about loggerhead turtles. It's a type of turtle, obviously, and it talks about their greatness, what's special about them, and it also talks about what's harming them and how to save them. Okay? So, here we have our first key sentence. Our topic sentence right here is loggerhead turtles are fascinating reptiles found around the world. So this entire sentence, this entire mini paragraph right here, everything is our key idea paragraph. Our first bun in the burger is this one paragraph. It tells me what the entire article is going to be about, and it just gives me a hint of what I'm going to read. And it also makes me want to read more. It hooks the audience. Okay? What's the next step in our burger? Well, it's our first supporting evidence, right? And right here we have our first supportive evidence. And it was their greatness when their fun facts about them, right? So it talks about them traveling, it talks about how many eggs they can lay, and more about their hatchlings, right? So this is their supporting first evidence. It talks about really interesting stuff about the turtles, right? And in our key sentence, it said, loggerhead turtles are fascinating reptiles found around the world. And to support that, they gave us a paragraph of interesting things about that animal. Okay? And next, we have our second paragraph. This is also about protecting loggerhead turtles because they talk about the harmful ways that loggerhead turtles are affected. So this is our second supporting evidence paragraph. And so lastly, this is our third supporting evidence, and it talks about ways we can save loggerhead turtles from this stuff. So do you see how this paragraph is going in order? First, the what, then the why, and then here is our last conclusion sentence. Conclusion paragraph. It summarized the entire article in just like 2 or 3 sentences. And it told me what I was supposed to get from this paragraph, from this passage. It told me what I was supposed to understand. Okay, it's telling me that for centuries to come, we have to do more to keep the seas clean and safe for all the loggerhead turtles. Okay, so this is a reading passage, and we just broke it down. And just like this order, you were supposed to write your passages in the future. Okay, move on. So, activity break. We just did this, right? Choose a paragraph in the reading passage and find its key idea and supporting detail. Use the hamburger analogy to help you. We just did that, right? So we did paragraph 2, right here, right? Loggerhead turtles are fascinating reptiles found around the world. And we said, right, this paragraph supports that sentence. Right? So here it said the key idea the key idea is loggerhead turtles are world lovers, right? That's a key idea that they said. And it also says that they live in Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and so many other places. So, for this, we said the key sentence supports this. And for this sentence, these massive turtles have a flair for traveling too. This is the key idea for this passage, right? This talks about what the paragraph is going to talk about. This entire thing talks about what this entire passage is going to talk about. But this first sentence is going to tell you what this paragraph is talking about. This sentence is going to tell you what this is talking about. So this sentence talks about this. So that's how it goes. Okay? And that sentence talks about this. So here in number 2, they said the key idea was loggerhead turtles are world travelers. And the supporting evidence is that they live across the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and even the Mediterranean Sea. Sandy beaches are their go-to locations for nesting building. And that supports our key idea, right? They're world travelers. So here it said to share your chosen paragraph. We already did this. So there's no need to do it again. So let's move on. We are running out of time. So I'm going to try to go through this really quickly. Because we still have to go over math. But let's continue. Reading unfamiliar words. Prefixes and suffixes. Prefixes and suffixes can help you work out the meaning of unknown words. So prefixes are the first half of the word, and suffixes are the what the word ends with. And the root word is right in the middle. It's in the middle of that. Root words, they're usually from Greek, Latin, or French vocabulary. They can also help understand the meaning of unknown words. So, use the meaning of prefixes, suffixes, and roots to define the words in the next slide. So look at this. The prefix is in, means in, on, or non. So let's say incorrect. That means not correct, right? Incorrect. The prefix is in, and the other half means correct. So in means not, so not correct, right? Suffix. The first example is full. Full of means full of. So if we say beautiful, that means beauty is the first word, full is the suffix. So you're full of beauty. And when do we say beautiful? When it's so pretty, right? So beautiful, beauty and full, you're full of beauty. The next one, ling, means small, little, able to be, all, pertaining to. And Latin words, vulnu is wounded, pullure is soiling, and predator is to plunder. We won't go over each one. I can't give examples for each one right now because we're running out of time. But this is basically just some of them, just the common words. So can you define these words? Can you define these in your own words? Okay, let's do the first one. So what's the suffix? First, is it a prefix or a suffix? Well, it's a suffix because it's at the end, right? Full. Well, what did we say full was? Full of. So, harmful. So, it's full of harm. There's so much harm. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do hatchlings. Well, is it a prefix or a suffix? Again, it's a suffix, right? Because, what do we say lings mean? Small and little, right? So what do hatchlings mean? Hatchlings mean the little birds, right? Let's say a little bird's hatchling, so baby birds. So it's basically baby, right? So there's small stuff. And so ling means small and little, right? So they hatched and they're small and little. So hatchlings. Now let's do one prefix one, and let's do this. Let's do pollution. Well, pol is not a prefix or a suffix. What is it? It's actually a Latin root word. And polluer, right here, it says spoiling, right? And here, pollution. We use the prefix pol. From the Greek Latin word polluer, we take the prefix pol and put it in pollution to show spoiling of the environment, right? If you're polluting something, you're spoiling the environment. So spoil and then polluting, they go together. Okay. Here's the vocabulary check. Harmful can cause a lot of harm because full, a lot of. Hatchlings, a small animal hatched from eggs because it hatched, and the lings are small, so small animals. Inhabit means they live in a habit because in means you're in it, right? So inhabit, live in a place. Here, coastal is pertaining to a place near a coast because we said all is pertaining, and vulnerable can be easily harmed. This has both a prefix and a suffix. Okay, and we already did pollution, making an environment dirty. So here's the summary we did for our lesson today. First, our key idea. They can be found in each paragraph's topic sentence, and this is the top bun of your burger. Your middle, all the good stuff in your burger, the meat, the cheese, the lettuce, anything else that you put are your supporting detail paragraphs, and they can be found there to support your key idea. So specific, solid reasons on why you think your key idea. And then at the end, you have your conclusion sentence. Okay, if you're not writing just one paragraph, and if you're writing a whole essay, then the last paragraph is going to be a conclusion sentence. If you're writing a whole essay, your key idea will be one whole paragraph. Your supporting details will be like each supporting detail will get a paragraph, and then your conclusion sentence will also get a paragraph. Okay. And so lastly, our prefixes, suffixes, and root words can be used to find out the meanings of words that you don't know. Like I just said, you basically just take the prefix, take the suffix, you see what it means, and then you just find out what it means. Like we did for the examples, you just attach them together with the meaning of the word, and boom. So that's it for English. Okay, and so now I hope you guys understood today's lesson. I think it was quite a lot. But let's move on to math real quick. Okay, today in math, we are going to be doing statistics. We're going to be learning about different graphs that represent different pieces of data and how to represent data using different graphs. Okay, so let's continue. Our learning goal: students understand there are different ways to represent data, and students understand which graph to use depending on the data. Okay, so this is just some vocabulary. Quantitative is data that has to do with numbers. So if I say how many students are in this classroom, that data is numbers, right? In this classroom, there's 36 students. In this classroom, there's 20 students. So that is data with numbers. So it's quantitative. Our next is qualitative. This has data to do with categories. Okay, so let's say somebody said, what is this classroom's each student's favorite dessert? Okay, and you have ice cream, donuts, and cupcakes. There's so many different ice creams, there's so many different donuts, there's so many different cupcakes, right? Those are categories. So let's say half of the students pick ice cream and the other half pick donuts. That has to do with categories, and that's called qualitative. So now a univariate is data with only one variable. So only one, you know what a variable is, right? Just one thing that they're asking for, okay? And bivariate is data with two variables, two things, okay? So let's move on. This is a line graph, okay? So this is best for quantitative bivariate data. What did we say quantitative was? Data that has to do with numbers, and bivariate means data with two variables. So we use a line graph when we're looking for numbers with multiple different variables. So line graphs basically show trends over time and can use more than one on the same graph to compare data sets. It's good for small amounts of data. Okay? So if I say how many people used phones from 2000 to 2026, right? That shows trend over time. 2000 to 2026, right? So we would use a line graph and we can plot how much people use it, right, for each year. Next, we have the dot plot. This is best for quantitative univariate data. So what did we say that was? So we said quantitative is when we use categories, and univariate when we're only asking for one thing, right? Here, it's two things, right? Bivariate, the number of phones and the year. Here, it's just going to be what? The category. So let's see, like we said, ice cream, donuts, cupcakes, and other desserts, right? So let's say in a classroom, it said 2 kids like ice cream, 5 kids liked the donuts, 1 kid liked cupcakes, and so on. So a dot plot counts how many times data occurs, frequency, and is good for small amounts. Next, we have the box and whisker plot. This is best for quantitative univariate data. So it one variable, but numbers. Quantitative means numbers, right? And univariate, one variable. So it can be used to compare more than one data on the same graph, okay? And this is good for large amounts of data. A histogram. This is best for quantitative univariate data, okay? Histogram is what? Quantitative, categories, univariate, one variable, okay? And it counts how many times data occurs between set ranges. It's good for big amounts of data. A scatter plot. This is also best for quantitative bivariate data. Quantitative, again, being numbers, and bivariate means two variables, right? And it's great to analyze the correlation between two variables and good for large amounts of data. So now this is a quick quiz. Which is the following is best for determining correlation? Well, let's see. Let's go back. Correlation. Well, It's a scatter plot, right? Like it says right here, great for analyzing correlation between two variables. So here, the answer is scatter plot. And we got it right. Next, which of the following is best for a large amount of data? Well, let's go back. This is good for large amounts of data. A scatter plot is good for large amounts of data. A histogram is good with large amounts of data. And a box whisker plot is good for large amounts of data. But then when we go back to a dot plot, that's for small amounts of data. So let's go back here and see which one in this three is the best for large amounts of data. Well, the answer is histogram because that's the only option that works. Let's check. Histogram it is. And here is an assignment. I said due Wednesday. This due date doesn't really matter. I will post some other stuff. I'll post this in the group chat, or I'll ask Ranjit Uncle to post this. But this, you basically just ask a question to ask your classmates, friends, and family, and ask your question to at least 10 people and collect the data. Okay? In any way you want. If you want to do a dot plot, line graph, it's your choice. Okay? Now, let's do some just simple. Let's do this. We are going to use the picture graph to answer the questions, okay? So, this is a quiz, but we'll do it together, okay? Part 1, table. Complete the table by inspecting the given information. Okay, so here we have a table full of school supplies, and here are the different school supplies. So what do we have to do? We basically just have to count the number of stuff here that matches with that category. So let's check. Let's do it together. So our first school supply is crayon. So let's count how many crayons are in this picture. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 crayons. Okay, and next we have paper clips. Let's count how many paper clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 paper clips. Next, we have notebooks. How many notebooks do we see? 2. We have glue. How many glue do we see? Only 1. Pencils. Let's count the number of pencils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pencils. Next, we have scissors. How many scissors? Just 1 pair of scissors. So, 1. Okay. Next, let's move on. Part 2, picture graph. Use the picture graph to answer the questions. Okay, so identification. Use the picture to answer the questions. The picture graph shows preferred ice cream flavor of some customers from the supermarket. Okay? So, this is saying basically the number of votes of people of their favorite ice cream flavor that they want. And it said each ice cream in this graph represents 3 people. So here it says chocolate. There's 4 ice creams, but each ice cream is 3 people. So 4 times 3 is 12. So 12 people voted chocolate. Okay? So let's answer the questions at the bottom. How many people voted for strawberry? Well, let's see. We know that each ice cream is 3 people, and there is 3, 4, 5 strawberries. Here, they said there are number of votes that voted are 5 ice creams, and each ice cream is 3 people. So what's 5 times 3? 15. So 15. Now let's look at this. Which flavor is preferred by less than 10 people? Okay, well now we have to look at each of them. So we already said before in chocolate, there's 4 ice creams and each ice cream is 3 people. So that is 12 people. 4 times 3. Now, next we have vanilla. Let's count how many vanilla. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ice creams voted for vanilla, and each ice cream is 3 people. So 6 times 3 is 18. That's not less than 10. So that's not the right answer. And 12 is also not less than 10. So chocolate's not the answer either. Next, we have strawberry. Well, for strawberry, we said there's 15 people. 15 people is also not less than 10. So our only option left is cookies and cream. But now let's count it. Cookies and cream, there's 3 ice creams. And each ice cream, again, is 3 people. So 3 times 3 is 9. Is 9 less than 10? Yes, it is. So our right answer is cookies and cream. Now, how many people liked vanilla? How many more people liked vanilla than chocolate? Well, let's count. Let's do a quick thing right here. So it's asking how many more people liked vanilla than chocolate. Well, how many people did we say vanilla was? 6 times 3 was, right? So 18. And chocolate, there's 12. So how many people more liked, right? So then you just, when it asks for that, you just subtract the 2 values. And so the answer, 18 minus 12, because chocolate has 12 people, is 6. So 6 more people liked vanilla than chocolate. Okay? Next question. Part 3. Column graphing. Complete the column graph to represent the given data. Part 3. Okay. So adjust the height of the columns to represent the given information below correctly. So Sazia is cleaning her wardrobe. She has 23 shirts, 30 trousers, and 18 jumpers to organize. So let's add the clothing here. For each color, we need to add a piece of clothing, right? So let's do shirts for orange. Trousers for this color. And our last one, jumpers to this. Because it listed 3 different clothing she has, right? So we have to make sure our column graph matches up with it. So now it's saying she has 25 shirts. So this does not show 25, right? This is like barely above 0, so this is probably like 3. That's not right. She has 25. So we have to make this bigger. This is 10 shirts. She doesn't have 10 shirts. She doesn't have 20 shirts. She also doesn't have 30 shirts, but she has 25. So 25 is half of 30. So right about here, right in the middle, 25 shirts. Okay. Next, we have trousers. Does she have 10? No, she has more than 10. More than 20. Right here. Perfect. 30 trousers. Next, we have jumpers. She has 18 jumpers. She has more than 10, but not more than 20, right? 18 is 2 less than 20. So you just go 1, 2, down, right here, just right about here, and boom, 18. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just an estimate because we don't have the perfect notations here, so you just have to estimate it. Okay? Let's move on. Next, part 4, we have effective data display. Choose the appropriate graph for the given data. Okay. So, inspect the graphs and then choose the more correct graph to represent the given data. Well, here it's saying move the stickers to the correct answer. Kitty scores in all subjects. Here it's showing us in each class how much did Kitty score. This is the score, and this is each class, right? So in social studies, she got 88. In humanities, she got 93. In math, she got 90. So these are the scores. And here, it also shows us the scores in each subject. But which one is the better way to show? Well, we said here in our previous thing that a histogram is better to show a set ranges, and it's good for large amounts, right? And here we are dealing with a large amount and a set range, 0 to 100, the range. So here the answer is this graph right here, because it deals with two different variables. It has two different variables. It's quantitative. It is qualitative, sorry. It's qualitative. It shows the groups. It doesn't show just numbers. And it deals with a large amount and a range. So this is the correct answer, this bar graph or histogram. I think it's nowadays people are calling it a bar graph, so a bar graph. Next question. Inspect the given graphs and choose the one that is more appropriate to display the most and least favorite fruits in the student. Well, this one, we have multiple tables. Both graphs work. Okay, none of them are wrong. There's just one that's better than the other that you can choose. But if you do either one of them, that's fine. Okay, so for here, me personally, when we're dealing with so many different subjects, we have so many, right? If we deal with all those, I think instead of doing a graph like this graph doesn't have a range, right? So there's no numbers here. And, well, it has a range, but it has so many different columns, categories. So I would personally go with this table. It's just easier to see, it's easier to use. So I would go with this table, personally. But if you like this, you can go with that too. And these are just the answer key. And I think we did it all. So that's great. Yes, we picked the right ones. That's amazing. Let's see how much time we have. We don't have a lot of time. This is going to be your homework activity. Actually, I'm going to paste it again. I'm going to tell Wrench Uncle to paste it in. And basically what you do, just ask anybody you want. Ask your parents, your siblings, your friends, your teacher, anybody, and collect the information, okay? Tally how many people like blueberries, how many people like mangoes, how many people like cherries, grapes, strawberries. Show me in tallies, like right here. Which one? How many people? Okay? And then here, in this graph, just graph how many people. Like right here, it shows 2 people like blueberries, 4 people like mangoes, like that. So ask your friends, see how many people you get, and then answer these questions. What was the most popular fruit in class? You don't have to do just your class, you can do anybody. Least popular fruit and how many people you asked in total. Answer that question after you fill these out. And just like that, you answer all for the rest too. So here you have your favorite color, and you answer the questions. Here you have your favorite vehicle, and then you answer the questions. And here you have your favorite dessert, and then you answer the questions, and that's it. There's only 4 different questions for you, or 4 different categories, and you just fill them out. This is just a quick, easy graphing homework type that I'll give you guys. But I'll paste this and I'll give it to the teacher. You guys can try your best to get it done, no pressure at all. But so that's it for today's class. I really hope you guys understood. It's really easy once you get the hang of it. Don't stress. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you understand, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Goodbye.